moving forward, scaling a few things. So I've got Andrew on tonight, and we're both just going to host about 20 minutes on what we've really taken a while to understand, even though you hear it over and over again. And it really is on the power of making managers. And so for easy reference, if you haven't already done it, we really love to just show you, especially those new again. Just going to share my screen, and we are just going to show you the This Is It training that we have right now. A lot of the team, if you are over on the This Is It team Facebook page, you'll see a bunch of them in Bora Bora. It's for the elite senior presidential directors, which I know a lot of you have set your sights on. So the training of how to become an elite senior presidential director is not on This Is It team, but I am going to pop it in some of your chats just for inspiration, the same way Tessa just did that for us. So they are right now in Bora Bora. But basically what we're going to be referencing tonight is from about 4 or 5 different teachings here called Go Manager. And you hear a lot of this out of their conventions that this team runs. Pretty much, as we've said before, this team is just raising up senior presidential directors everywhere across quite a few countries now as well. And so we really follow their model in a lot of what we do. So if you haven't already done it, make sure that you go to thisisitteam.com, Go Manager, and this main page. And what we're going to be referencing just briefly again tonight is this document here on the fast track to manager. So we usually tell people, particularly early on, print that off, or do you like your own electronic version of it. But the big key to this is really just making sure you understand about putting someone left, putting someone right, and doing that twice. And manager is where everything begins to flow, whether you want to build a huge business or whether you would just like to cover your costs and help everyone cover their costs. Making manager is really, really key. So before I go too much further, I know Andrew just dived into this a lot. I just wanted to get Andrew to share a few of his takeaways as he rewatched these videos, because you're always training new people, even people we've just onboarded, about really their first step, which is to make manager. So Andrew, do you want to just share a few takeaways?
Yeah, I think good to see everybody here, and thanks for making the training tonight. Yeah, really, I mean, it is as simple as 2 people on either side. And so it's that first 4 people for you to become a manager. Then when you're a manager, or you need to have 20 people each side over time. So you're constantly, and we've done more than that. We continue to do more than that. We want as many people on our team at that level as possible. But as you make a manager, then your whole goal is to help them, the people that you've onboarded, to become manager. So it's helping them with scripts, and things that you've learned, helping them with who's in your world. So we sat down with actually one of our directors the other day. They're leaving a city that they've lived in their whole life to move to another city, which is an amazing opportunity on the other side. But I said, you've got 36 days of an opportunity to reach as many people as you can, because it will be harder once you've moved. And one of our directors, she said, well, what about, my husband's family? We haven't done that yet. And so we said, well, why don't you throw a goodbye party at your house, invite them all over, and explain part of this will be all about your new business that you've stepped into. And you'd love to show them what that is before they go. Well, they already signed up. In 2 days' time, they signed up one of their auntie and uncles because of that. Their upline encouraging them on opportunities and the people that are in their life to create those moments to be able to help partner with somebody else. And so as you create more managers, number one, you will rise through the system and the ranks. But it's all built on, as soon as somebody becomes manager, number one, they can start retrieving their money out. And I remind people, you start getting paid in US dollars. So for us Aussies, that's an extra 50+%. It's amazing when you start seeing it rolling in. They can start retrieving their money. They now can see the potential of bringing in other brand partners and making them managers. And as that is duplicated, really, it's almost as simple as that, of just creating managers, helping them to become managers, helping them with the confidence, helping them with the feedback, helping them with knowing there's someone they can call up and talk to. And then as they get confident, they don't need you as much, and they start doing and replicating that themselves.
Yeah. So with a few people on tonight, and for the purpose of recording, I actually wanted to, Sue has shared quite a bit around some training, but I wanted to get a few of our key team that have really hit director, manager, director, and really just running for it. Just to speak about, for 1 or 2 minutes, really what it took for them to shift that needle and actually go, yeah, manager is that goal for me. So Sue, I'll get you to share, and then Michelle and Joanne will hear from you two as well. But just talk for 1 or 2 minutes about what you did, Sue, really to hit that first rank of manager, because you hit it quite quickly too.
Yeah, thanks, Vanessa. So it was, for me, it was because of the success I had with the patch, was who do I know right this minute who would benefit from this, whether they're in pain or whether they have a health condition. And so I wrote my list very quickly as soon as I got home that first day. And then I started contacting them. And so it was also for women who I thought would appreciate the extra income into their lives. And so I just went down through my list and worked out who was the most likely to accept this and rang them first. So yes, I went manager in the first week, but that was because I looked for who had the need and approached them first. And then, the list got longer and I kept adding to it. But it was really, initially, it was about who do I know that will benefit from this straight away. Yep.
Love it. Thank you. Michelle. You good?
There we are. There we are. Good now. I guess for me, when I first spoke to Vanessa about patching, it was more about I guess it was more about the technology and understanding that it was this this phenomenal sort of technology that, and because I've always been into health in my life, I've just thought, I just jumped on board because I knew that the technology was so new and so powerful that it would help people. And I think ultimately when I first started, I encouraged the people that I knew that were in the same health space as me. So, and, I knew Alison and I were on the same page, and then some of the other people that I've spoken to know that we talk around the science of the business. Since then, once you learn to have more product knowledge, you just feel comfortable talking to anyone and everyone about it. So yes, I have a list, but I don't necessarily just stick to the list. I speak to anybody that I have an opportunity to anywhere. So it could be in the park or on the beach or whatever. And of course, the question has to be asked, I guess if they always just seem to tell you what their problem is, or if they've got a pain point, and then you go, oh, well, have you heard of? And I did it at the dentist today. So when he was talking about stem cells, I said, oh, by the way, we have this patch that helps with the active reactivation of stem cells. He goes, okay. So it's just about being confident. And I think as you know the product better, and you listen to the training and you listen to David Schmidt talking about the product, it just makes you confident to know that you don't want to you know, you don't want to grow old with aches and pains and or lose your mind. So why not get on it?
So good. All right, Joanne, manager for you.
Well, look, for me, we first came in because we had a real health challenge. My husband had been through a whole lot of things, which I've shared before. And we were looking for something, you know, I was looking into the stem cell activation. When I came across the patch and saw the technology, I was in. But very quickly, I saw the business opportunity. And, you know, and thanks to Vanessa and Andrew's, you know, training in this, I really took on board, okay, this is all about making managers. And you know, it can almost sound too simple for people. And so sometimes I think when you hear it the first time, you think, oh, really? You know, it can't be that simple. But, you know, I've seen very clearly that it is that simple. And so I really then, and I didn't go with manager as quickly as I could have because I strategically placed people in my team that I knew would work well together. So yeah, so look, you know, I think it's really about understanding that it is as simple as that, and that this is what you have to concentrate on, you know, signing up people yourself as you come across them, putting them in those two legs and making managers and helping them to understand the power of that. And if that happens, your business will absolutely flourish. And so for me, it's even though, you know, Stephen and Gina sometimes can be a bit too much for the Aussies. They're not for me, but they can be for some. But, you know, for me, it was like, I want to learn from the best and I want to see what they're doing. And so I really dived into that. And, you know, Vanessa and Andrew have been amazing leaders.
Thanks, Joanne. Well, we love it. And we have to be honest and say we were listening to all the trainings, but it's only been witnessing in structure the flow financially that is coming when everyone begins to become manager. And so the key to this whole system of manager, for those that are new on tonight, there's a few different ways we talk about this. To your customer that you're going to be sharing and patching and that really signs up, they don't need to early on even understand the concept of manager. We simplified it right down to, if you share with 4 people, the costs of your patches can be covered in the way the company will compensate you. So we don't use the word manager to every person. This is very much a business language that, of course, we know when it comes to this structure, that's the language that is used. But when it comes to talking to a customer about this, we just talk about sharing with 4 people. We go even less complicated and say, actually, if you just want to start to refer people to us, we will help put that in the back office in a way where you are going to get compensated. Once they've received, to Andrew's point, a few dollars in their back office, we will get on a call with them and say, hey, or I'll screenshot for them. I just want to show you what's in your back office now, that when we can get 2 more of those orders like that, you'll be able to pull your money out. So to the average customer that is a user, particularly that very first month or so where they're going, okay, this is the investment next. That's when you want to be talking about the sharing with people. If you onboard a business builder, the whole point of becoming manager is it's their first rank. It's where their finance begins to flow. But also for a business builder, they need to see what unlocks at manager. And so what actually unlocks at manager is the ability for the binary system to really come into play. So this is where, particularly now with the momentum we have in our team, we were essentially an inside leg for someone. So we had no flow down volume, but now we're watching so many of you run and so many of you rank that now we're beginning to see some of this binary bonus and binary really come into place. So essentially now when people onboard 4 people, even 4 silvers, they're no longer often just getting $200 because you get 50 every time you partner with another silver. They're unlocking a binary, an extra 50 or an extra 100 actually sometimes really quickly. So you can actually show them in their back office, here's what you've got, and you're ready to get it out. So the magic is in the manager. Just say that to yourself. The magic is in the manager. And this is the goal of everyone. So what I want you to do is, those of you that have been around for a little while longer, you have the opportunity to look down. If you go to your back office and your organization, and you look under your downline. So I'm actually just going to show it to you one more time. I'm going to, actually, no, I'm so sorry. I can't do that. I'm in the wrong screen. But you're going to go to organization. You're going to go to personally enrolled, or you're going to go to binary tree viewer or enroller tree viewer. Just write that down. Organization, back office, organization, and enroller tree viewer. That's where you will begin to see all the people that you've enrolled. And if they don't have a green box next to them, they're not manager yet. So these are some of the people. Not only are you going to put energy into partnering with every new person that you can, but you want to be keeping in touch with those people, particularly before their auto ship comes out. And that's the other thing we're just going to reference. And at that first month, that about 3 weeks in, when you're going to be looking at prepping them that their auto ship's coming out, that's an incredible time to have the conversation around, is there anyone else you know that you are thinking of already about benefiting from this technology? This is a great time for us to get them on a call or get an order in for them, because before your order ship comes out, we can help you cover the cost of next month. So this is really the strategy we use around week 3 for people when they're going to start thinking beyond themselves and who else do they want to be patching. So auto ship coming out is a great time for you to also check in with them, because you don't want them to turn their auto ship off or push it out, because that also won't keep them active in your structure. So I've been asked by a few people to just reference one more thing. When you are enrolling people and you have to then go to their initial order and their auto ship order, which if they're not diamond, it's got to go out within the first 31 days. A big key is, if you haven't seen this modeled yourself, don't actually let the automatic order come out 31 days. The system will try and push it to 31 days, but you want to actually go in manually in the auto ship and make it about 4 days at least before the end of that 31 days. The reason why we're seeing at the moment is a few people are staying with that 31-day mark when it comes to auto ship, but it actually means they're not ranking that week. If the month turns over, the 31 days rolls over in that week, and it looks like you missed the 31-day mark with that auto ship. So our recommendation, and the thing that Tessa did with us, is she pushed our auto ship out about 4 days before the end of that 31 days. Obviously we went diamond, so we weren't even needing to think about that for 3 months. But any questions around auto ship, just quickly before we just move on to the last point around manager? Questions around auto ship? All good?
I have one, sorry.
Yes,
I was trying
yes.
to find my unmute button. Just for the couple that I've got on, I'm curious to know what's the minimum that they would need to order? What would be an example? So a hypothetical of what would be a minimum order?
It's a great question. So to stay active, they need what's called 55 BV, which is their volume, and that is one support patch. So that is all they need in their auto ship if they're not building and sharing straight up. One support patch, so anything other than the X39 will keep them active. If they're a business builder and they're going to start bringing in more than 100 a week in commission, they need to be on 2. So they need to be on 110 BV. But you have to keep in mind, you would think that's 2 support patches, 55 and 55, and it's not. Or the system actually reduces the BV on 2 of those support patches because it costs a little bit less to get 2. So it needs to be an X39 and a support patch. So if you want to go beyond 100 a week in commission, you have to be on an X39 and a support patch, and that'll be maximum you need for BV. Otherwise, if you just want to stay active and keep accruing the points, it's just 55 in a support patch. Good. Leah, did you have a question?
Yeah, just on that one quickly. It's only ourselves that would need to be on the 2 sleeve, right? On the 110, not the people underneath us as well. Just ourselves to gain commissions.
To gain what, sorry?
To gain the full commission. Does it just need to be ourselves on the 110 or higher?
As soon as someone begins sharing and could go beyond $100, which is 2 silvers in commission, they need to be on 110 in their volume as well.
Okay, yeah, okay, but and then everyone else underneath you that you've signed up, they're okay just to stay on the 1 sleeve for the moment.
Yeah, especially
cool.
if they're not yet building or running straight away.
Okay, and then my actual question was, so when I'm initially signing people up and I set up their auto ship, I am doing it, around that 4-day mark before the rolling date. Do I then need to go back in for the following month and do it again earlier? Because then it's going to be 31 days from that date. I'm just wondering, does that change in the following month? Do we then need to keep pushing it back sooner each month?
You know what? It's a really good question. Yeah, it's a really good question. And so far, what I noticed is the date that you put it in, exactly the date you put it in, they'll do that a month later. Sue, what are you noticing?
Yeah. Can I just say, I haven't noticed that it's needed to come forward because it's already within the 31 days. Like I'm only 2 months in for something and I haven't needed to. I record whenever their auto ship is due to go and have a conversation with them. And so next month will be the month that I probably need to just check on that. Good point, Leah. I have a quick question that's come up today, and unfortunately I haven't had a chance to go in and investigate, but some of my team have wanted to know how can they ship now, like if their auto ship is due to go, say, in 3 days, but they want to do it earlier. They haven't been able to change it to come in earlier. Do you know if that's possible?
Yeah, the only thing you have to do is it's because of the American date, the US date. So if they want to ship now, the earliest they'll be able to do, say it's 19th here, is they will just need to press the very next day that it looks available, and the calendar will kind of tell you that. The system will tell you that. So you might just need to get on today's date, but it ends up being tomorrow for us, and that's what you have to do. So you can't do a ship now on your monthly auto ship without going back into the system and ordering something. And you can order it obviously right then and there, but it's not the monthly subscription.
Okay, thanks.
That's okay. It's just on 8 o'clock, and we said in most of your group chats, we really are encouraging people to be on the 8 o'clock opportunity call that the US puts out. If you don't have access to that, it's over in the Arise, and we promote it over there on all their channels, but I'll put it in some of your core group chats again. Reason being is the US do every second week, and then Aussies do the alternative week on a Wednesday night. first of all, great energy. Secondly, anytime you can get on an opportunity call, we just say once a week, be on a call, whether you've got guests on it or not, just go in, listen to the language, listen to the way they present, listen to their stories, because you're going to pick up something that really, to Michelle's point, just gives you boldness to be out and about and sharing even more clearly on this opportunity. But this is a great team that's sharing tonight, a great couple that's sharing tonight, ranking incredible senior presidential directors through their company as well. So I'll pop the link. I'll actually put it right now in this chat as well, so you can jump straight on this Zoom if you like. It's the Steve and Gina's Zoom that they have, and unless someone can get it quicker than me. Other than that, we'll be on. I'll just press stop record. We will we're always available